Hello, I am Mohit Goloi, Vice President, Health, Safety and Environment, Runwal Group. Today we are going to understand about COVID-19 virus. This virus has been very damaging to the entire world. Almost all the countries in the world has been hit by this pandemic. So we are going to learn about COVID-19 virus and the health and safety controls to be implemented mandatorily to curb COVID-19 viral infection among our family members, co-workers and workforce. Let's go on. Before we start the training program, let's thank all Corona warriors who have put their life at risk to serve people affected by the novel coronavirus. Our Corona warriors are our doctors, our healthcare workers, army, sanitization, police force, and even the Air Force team who help people evacuate from different countries. Now let us see what novel coronavirus has done to the entire world. Novel coronavirus is a new strain of coronavirus first identified in a cluster with pneumonia symptoms in Wuhan city, Hubei province of China. It has spread to almost all countries across the globe. Now, seeing the picture of this virus, you can see first the spike glycoprotein, which is protecting the entire virus. Then the internal part is RNA and N protein. Then there is an envelope. Now, because this virus looks more like a crown with spikes, hence its name is corona. Let us think about corona as the sun, because the sun also has a crown when there is a solar eclipse. The lining around the eclipse is called the crown. Hence, when we think about corona, let us think about the sun, which will give us a positive vibrations and the required strength to fight this virus. The recently emerged COVID-19 and SARS are comparable in symptoms and origin, but their severity is not. The new coronavirus appears to be less severe than the SARS. It might be more contagious, however, given that the outbreak is spreading faster than SARS did. COVID-19 looks a lot closer to the season flu than to previous corona outbreaks. Let us look at the statistics of fatal and non-fatal cases. If we look closely, SARS has a fatal rate of 10%, MERS fatal case of 34%. But if we look at COVID-19 and seasonal flu has a fatal rate of 0.1% and fatal case of COVID-19 is 3.4%. So it is lot lesser than the other type of virus which we have already seen. Now let us discuss about the need for lockdown in India. In-depth social and scientific study was conducted to understand impact with lockdown. If you see closely at the graph, where the x-axis talks about number of cases and the y-axis time since first case. Consider two scenarios. Without protective measures, social distancing, if we say, there would be heavy load on the healthcare system capacity. But with protective measures and social distancing and lockdown, the healthcare system capacity would never be reached to its full extent. That is the reason why the government of India has decided for a national level lockdown. How has the lockdown impacted in India? India's performance is far better than developed nations where doubling rate is less than 3 days. If we look at the doubling rate in India, it has slowed down, and which is a very good news. Doubling rate of coronavirus cases in India is now at 7.5 days average. Before the lockdown, it was 3.4 days. Some of the states with slowest corona speed, that is the doubling rate in days, like Kerala, if we see, the doubling rate is 72.2, which is great. Odisha at 39.8, and the average is 7.5. If we study the cases between symptomatic and asymptomatic cases in India and especially in Maharashtra is on the rise. It is a good as well as bad news. Why good? We'll discuss. It is good because a person who is asymptomatic need not go to the hospital. He can be home quarantine and in isolation for 14 days. Check his report. If it is negative, he can perform his duties after consulting the doctor. Why bad? Because an asymptomatic person does not know that he is carrying the infection, and the average number of people that one person with COVID-19 infects is 2 to 2.5. So now this is a bigger risk. But nothing to worry, as we have seen that it is very similar to swine flu and the percentage of fatality is mere 3.4%. Coronavirus are a group of related RNA viruses that cause diseases in mammals and birds. In humans, these viruses cause respiratory tract infections that can range from mild to lethal. Mild illnesses include some cases of the common cold, which is also caused by other viruses, while more lethal varieties can cause SARS, MERS, and COVID-19. Symptoms in other species vary. For example, in chicken, they cause an upper respiratory tract disease, while in cows and pigs, they cause diarrhea. There are yet no vaccines or antiviral drugs to prevent or treat human coronavirus. Now, let's look at the picture of the human body in which it is shown upper respiratory tract, which consists of nasal cavity, pharynx and larynx, and the lower respiratory tract in which the parts are trachea, primary bronchi and lungs. Initially, in the mild part of the symptoms of COVID-19, there will be nasal cavity jam and irritation in the pharynx and larynx. As the COVID-19 symptom deepens, it starts affecting the trachea and the lungs, where there is congestion and people feel breathlessness and heaviness, and there are headache and mild fever. Now let's understand the difference between DNA and RNA virus. See, DNA virus, as you can see from the right side picture, it has got double strand. It is a type of sugar, deoxyribose. The name DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Its location is in the nucleus, and RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. The left side of the image, it is single stranded and it consists of nitrogenous bases like adenine, cytosine, guanine and uracil. It is also a type of sugar ribose. Its location is in nucleus and cytoplasm. Now what does this coronavirus do? As you had seen from the earlier picture, it consists of spikes and hence the name corona. These spikes contains proteins, and when this infection enters into the human body, it attaches itself to the RNA and draws the protein from the RNA itself and survives. Let us understand the distinction between the symptom of flu, allergies and coronavirus and how it can be effectively monitored. As you can see in front of your screen, there are three different symptoms of flu, coronavirus and allergies. The common between flu and coronavirus are fever and cough. The others are not. So shortness of breath or difficulty in breathing is one of the prime thing which appears from the symptoms which is uncommon in others. Hence, each home shall mandatorily have a digital probe thermometer to check whether one is fit and does not have fever, and the other is pulse oximeter to check the level of saturated oxygen in the blood. Now let's understand how do we know what are the levels of oxygen saturation SpO2 for a healthy body. As you can see from the image, blood is the carrier of oxygen. This oxygen is carried by the blood to each and every part of our body, to the cells, and once these cells receive the oxygen, this oxygen helps to break down the food and the output is carbon. Hence, when we exhale out, we exhale carbon dioxide. From the picture, let us know your safe blood oxygen saturation level. 95 to 100% is the average for the population. The red blood cells are well oxygenated and sufficiently transporting oxygen around the body. Nothing to worry. It's for a fitter person. Now, slightly moderately worrying is 91 to 94%. That is below average for the population, where one needs to monitor closely and inform your physician, family physician, or a consulting doctor. Now, the cause of worry is less than or equal to 90%. In this area, we need to immediately consult our doctor, because this is a prime case wherein you are not able to breathe sufficiently and hence require hospitalization. Let us understand the criteria for testing of COVID-19 cases in India. Criteria number 1: symptomatic persons with foreign travel history. Criteria number 2: all symptomatic contacts of laboratory confirmed cases. Criteria number 3: symptomatic health workers. Criteria number 4: all patients with severe acute respiratory illness. Criteria number 5: asymptomatic direct and high risk contacts of a positive case. Please note, in hotspots, clusters and large migration gatherings, evacuation centers, all symptomatic cases are tested. Please look at the laboratory report which is attached here for your reference. The test description states SARS-CoV-2 RNA PCR. This sample is taken through a nasopharyngeal swab and the results are showing detected. This is just for your information. Now let us understand the modes of transmission of COVID-19 virus. You all are aware that droplets come out while sneezing, coughing by an infected person. These droplets spread through a distance of 2 meters and infect all the surfaces where it gets into contact. Now, assume a case when a person touches this surface, whether it is a tabletop or any object, these infected droplets come in contact with that person. So this virus is now transferred from an infected person to a surface and then to a new person. So hence, please keep a safe distance of 2 meters from other individuals. Do not touch any unknown surfaces and sanitize your hands frequently. Now let us understand the preventive measures, health and safety and hygiene measures that needs to be implemented by all individuals. Safe practices in the community. Hand hygiene. Cleaning of hand is the most important thing that we need to do. Hand cleaning has to be done for minimum 20 seconds with proper Dettol soap or any other soap brand. Respiratory hygiene. If we use a tissue paper while sneezing, put that tissue paper in the dustbin, especially it should be a closed dustbin. Social distancing. Minimum 2 meter distance needs to be placed between two persons. High risk group. We will understand what high risk group are. They are the older persons, the children, the pregnant ladies. Very important, from this slide you should know that please keep a safe distance of 2 meters from individuals wherever it is possible. Practice social distancing by not shaking hands, hugging, greet people with namaste, stay home if you are ill, and prevent the spread of this illness. Hand hygiene. Let us discuss and understand what are the do's and don'ts. Hand hygiene is a way of cleaning one's hand that substantially reduces potential pathogens, harmful germs on the hands. Hand hygiene procedures include hand washing with soap and water for at least 40 seconds or use of 70% alcohol based hand rubs. Do's. Wash your hands often with soap and water for 40 seconds, especially after you have been in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing and sneezing. Use a hand sanitizer, at least 70% alcohol based. If soap and water are not readily available, cover all surfaces of your hand and rub them together until they are dry. Don'ts. Please do not touch your eyes, nose and mouth without washing your hands. Touch surfaces. Do not touch surfaces like doorknobs and doorbells, elevator buttons, handrails, support handles, chair backs, ATM surfaces, handles. Let us understand what are the respiratory hygienes. Respiratory hygiene is a combination of measures taken to stop the spread of germs through respiratory behavior like coughing and sneezing. What are the do's? Always use a handkerchief or a tissue to cover your face while coughing or sneezing. Do throw the used tissue immediately in a closed dustbin. Do cover your sneeze into your bent upper arm in case you are not carrying a tissue or a handkerchief. Do wash hands immediately after you have covered your sneeze or cough. Don'ts. Do not use other ways of covering your face like the pallu of the sari or the chunni or the gamcha. Do not spit in the open. Always use a spittoon or wash basin for spitting. For respiratory hygiene, wear reusable cotton cloth 3-ply mask. As per guidelines for Government of India, 3-ply cotton cloth mask is good enough. Each one shall wear mask to safeguard him, her, and also safeguard co-workers, fellow citizen. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji wears homemade cotton cloth mask. Please note that N95 masks are mandatory for all healthcare doctors, medical team, housekeeping team in hospital and nursing homes who are surrounded by COVID-19 patients, and there is very high likelihood of infection. Social distancing. What do we mean by social distancing? Deliberately increasing the physical space between people to avoid spreading illness is called social distancing. Maintaining at least 2-meter distance from other people lessen your chances of catching COVID-19. What are the do's? Stay at home unless absolutely necessary to go out. Keep a distance of at least 1 meter in public places, and if you have sufficient space, maintain 2-meter distance with the other person. Don'ts. Do not, I repeat, do not hold events where people have to gather, even if it is a corner meeting with 3 or 4 friends or colleagues or an evening chat on the Nukkad. Please do not go to crowded places like market, shopping malls, parties. Please do not use public transport wherever possible. We had earlier discussed about the high risk group. I would like to again inform you guys that high risk groups are the people who are at very higher risk from severe illness if they get COVID-19. Older adults, people who have underlying medical conditions like heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, kidney disease, or cancer medication. And the third category is pregnant women. As we do not know the impact of the disease on pregnancy as of yet, it is better to take care. There are certain prevention guidelines issued by the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. The Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy is purposed with developing education, research and propagation of indigenous alternative medicine systems in India. They have recommended certain general measures like drink warm water throughout the day, daily practice of yogasana, pranayam and meditation for at least 30 minutes, use of spices like haldi, that is turmeric, jeera, that is cumin, dhania, that is coriander, and lahasun, garlic, are recommended in cooking. They are also promoting measures like use of Chyawanprash 10 mg, that is 1 tablespoon in the morning. Diabetes should take sugar-free Chyawanprash. Drink herbal tea decoction, that is kada, made from tulsi, dalchini, kali mirch, sundh and munaka once or twice a day. Add jaggery and fresh lemon juice to your taste. The third and the most important, golden milk. Half teaspoon haldi powder in 150 ml hot milk once or twice a day. This will surely boost your immunity and there would be very fewer chances of contacting this virus. Community surveillance and use of Arogya Setu app. Government of India has made it mandatory for all citizens to download Arogya Setu app onto their smart mobile phones. It has become very easy for one to assess self-health by logging on to the Arogya Setu app, and if they are going around, they have to keep their Bluetooth on so that the tracker will trace around wherever you are. They will highlight whether you are in a contamination zone, low risk zone or high risk zone, and it will intimate to you that you are safe. So I urge all our employees, all our contractor staff to please download Arogya Setu app. It is very beneficial. Let us understand the definitions of suspect person and contact person. It is very, very important for you to understand this. Suspect or probable infected person is a person with acute respiratory illness, fever and at least one symptom of respiratory disease, that is cough or shortness of breath, and or he has a history of travel to or residence in any country, area or territory reporting local transmission of COVID-19 disease during the 14 days prior to the system. A person with severe acute respiratory infection, that is fever or at least one symptom, and requiring hospitalization, that fully explains the clinical presentation. Suspected person or a probable infected person is also a person whom they have tested for COVID-19 and is inconclusive. Now let us understand who is a contact. A contact is a person who is involved in any of the following: providing direct care with personal protective equipment for COVID-19 patients, or staying in the same close environment of a COVID-19 patient, including workplace, household, or gathering, or traveling together in close proximity less than 1 meter with a symptomatic person who later tested positive for COVID-19. Type of contact person. The types of contacts. It can be high risk or low risk. Let us understand who are at low risk. A person who has shared the same space, same class of school, worked in the same room, together, similar and or having a high risk exposure to confirmed or suspect case of COVID-19, traveled in the same environment, bus, train, or any other transit mode, but not having a high risk exposure. Let us understand who are at high risk. A person who has touched body fluids of the patient, respiratory tract secretions, blood, vomit, saliva, urine, feces, who may have direct physical contact with the body of the patient, shook hands, hugged or took care of, touched or cleaned the linen, clothes or dishes, lived in the same household as the patient, anyone in close proximity less than a meter, passenger traveling in the close proximity. What are the recommended home care precautions to be taken in case of suspected case or home quarantine patient? Always remember, cleanliness is next to godliness. Keep environment safe. Support assigned family member to take care of infected person, helping them follow doctor's instruction for medications and care. Please wash hands with soap and water for at least 40 seconds, or if soap and water are not available, clean your hands with an alcohol based hand sanitizer that contains at least 70% alcohol. Wash often and especially after touching any unknown surfaces. Clean and disinfect all high touch surfaces such as tabletops, doorknobs, bathroom fixtures, toilet, mobile phones every day. Also wipe any surfaces that may have blood, stool or body fluids on them using bleaching powder solution, tablespoon of household bleach in 4 cups of water. Wash laundry thoroughly and avoid shaking solid linen immediately. Remove and wash clothes or bedding that have blood, stool or body fluids on them. Keep away from body. Wash and disinfect linen in a warm water. Linen can be soaked in hot water and soap in a large drum using a stick to stir. Avoid splashing. Soak linen in 1% chlorine for approximately 30 minutes. Finally, rinse with clean water and let linen dry fully in the sunlight. Note: infected person may be ambulatory or bedridden. Home quarantine safety tips to be followed for family members. It is almost the same that we have discussed in the previous slide. Household members should stay in another room or be separated from the patient as much as possible. Household members should use a separate bedroom and bathroom if available. Avoid sharing household items, dishes, drinking glasses, cup, eating utensils, towel, bedding or other items with other people at home. Wash hand as often thoroughly with soap and water 40 seconds or with 70% alcohol based hand sanitizer. When in contact with the person who is quarantined, the family member should wear a 3-layered mask at all the times. I am repeating, when in contact with the person who is quarantined, the family member should wear a 3-layered mask at all the times. Disposable masks are never to be reused. Used masks should be considered as potentially infected. Dispose mask by soaking in home bleach solution and then throwing in a dustbin. Do not let small children play with the mask. Stigma. It is common for individuals because of fear. Let us understand what is stigma.
In any epidemic, it is common for individuals to feel stressed and worried because they fear. They fear falling ill and dying, avoiding approaching health facilities due to fear of becoming infected while in care, fear of losing livelihoods, not being able to work during isolation, and of being dismissed from work, fear of being socially excluded, placed in quarantine because of being associated with the disease, feeling powerless in protecting loved ones, and fear of losing loved ones because of the virus or being separated during quarantine. Feelings of helplessness, boredom, loneliness, and depression due to being isolated and not working towards caring for or dependent. Stress is caused due to the above fears and being treated as an outcast or blamed for spreading the disease. Stigma. It is the fear of unknown. Why is there stigma? The level of stigma associated with COVID-19 is based on three main factors. COVID-19 is a new disease about which many things are still being discovered. When something is unknown, people are worried, which leads to fear. Rumors or fake news give wrong information and spread the fear.
What does stigma do? Social stigma has impact on individuals. It makes people hide their problem, keeps people away from accessing healthcare services and seeking help, and it also discourages them and may at times prevent them from adapting healthy behaviors. Let us understand certain myths and facts one by one. The first statement: with the summers coming up, the coronavirus will be killed. Oh no. The fact is, COVID-19 has been detected in all areas, including areas with hot and humid weather. The best way to protect yourself against COVID-19 is by frequently washing your hands with soap and water, covering your coughs and sneezes, and avoiding crowding places. I hope you understood that. The second myth: having a bath with hot water will kill the virus. The fact is, the virus lives inside the body, whereas the temperature is maintained at 37 degrees Celsius and is not affected by the hot water bath that you have. The other myth: getting the pneumonia vaccine will protect you against the virus. The fact is, while vaccines for pneumonia will certainly protect you against other organisms that cause pneumonia, the vaccine for novel coronavirus is still under development. Myth: spraying alcohol or disinfectant over your body can prevent infection. The fact is, spraying with alcohol or sanitizer on clothes and body will not prevent you from getting infection. Infection spreads when the virus enters the body through nose or mouth. Cleaning and wiping hands with alcohol is to prevent the germ from entering your system through infected hands when you touch your mouth or you eat food with the infected hands. Myth: regularly rinsing the nose with saline will prevent the infection. The fact is, rinsing nose with saline has in few cases helped in containing the common cold, but has no evidence to date to suggest that it is effective against the novel coronavirus. Myth: coronavirus can be passed through chicken and meat. The fact is a big no. There is no such evidence of coronavirus spreading through meat and poultry products. However, it is always advised to have properly cooked meat and chicken. Myth: a person with coronavirus can recover fully and be no more infectious. Fact: 80% of the people have recovered from the disease without needing special treatment, but information on the virus treatment is still being researched. Myth: eating raw garlic, sesame seeds will protect you against the virus. Fact: Garlic is a healthy food that has other benefits but does not protect you against the coronavirus. Myth: the virus can die easily once it is out of the body. The fact: we do not know about this particular virus as of now. Similar viruses, SARS, MERS, survive from 8 to 24 hours depending on type of surfaces. Myth: you can get COVID-19 through mosquito bites. Fact: oh no, this is not. The coronavirus cannot be spread through the bite of a mosquito. It is spread through droplets spread when an infected person sneezes or coughs. At Runwal Group, we have implemented the new normal, that is the health and safety controls to curb COVID-19 viral infection among employees and workforce. Let us see what they are. We have implemented the COVID-19 control procedure across all the Runwal Group offices and project sites, which contains all the health, safety and hygiene measures to be implemented to restrict the spread of COVID-19. The other new normal are: we are taking commitment from each of our employees, contractor, workforce to abide by the good practices to avoid COVID-19 viruses. Here are examples of the commitment of our employee and contractor workforce. The other new normal are health screening of each workman and issue of certificate of fitness by appointed occupational health doctor before joining the site. The doctor physically examines the new migrant laborers and the workforce, and if they do not find any symptoms suggestive of COVID-19 in the form of fever, cough, breathlessness, then this certificate is issued to them. Health screening of each migrant worker after returning from their hometown or returning to work after 14 days home quarantine in isolation room is arranged. The doctor visits those migrant workers during their home quarantine period and checks their health. They monitor the temperature, any symptoms of COVID-19 like fever, cough, breathlessness. They give them medicines during the period, and if the symptom arises of COVID-19, then they are given a certificate for testing, which they can go to the government hospital and get them checked. As a new normal, the doctors are giving homeopathic medicine named Arsenicum album 30 to all our employees and workers who are returning to work. This is as per the guidelines of Ayush Mantralaya. Pulse and oxygen, that is the percentage of oxygen in the saturated blood, is measured of all employees and workers during visits by occupational health doctor with pulse oximeter. We have discussed it earlier that 95 to 100 is a safe zone. Any person having blood oxygen level, SpO2 level below 90 is worry. 91 to 94 should be monitored regularly and consult a doctor. We have initiated body temperature checking by digital non-contact thermometer of workforce and employees before entering site. We have trained our security guards to monitor body temperature to all of our workers and staff. This is done mandatorily and record is maintained at each of our offices and project site. Runwal management has provided reusable cotton cloth mask, which is now used by all our employees, customers and workforce to avoid generation of hazardous waste. As you can see from the pictures, as soon as the employees and workers have joined our site, we have issued them the masks. And these are reusable cotton masks which will help avoid lesser generation of hazardous waste. The other new normals are: we have implemented foot operated hand wash system for cleaning of hands frequently. This is implemented and conspicuously located at the entrance of the project, near canteen and in worker accommodation camp. We have implemented in-house sanitization of all contact point in offices, project, canteen, workman camp by approved disinfectant, and this is carried out twice a week. We have identified our office boys and helpers and trained them in MSDS, that is material safety data sheet of the chemical, provided them with a leak proof PPE kit and trained them about all the hazard risk and control measures. Thus, this is a very cost effective arrangement and we will save lakhs of rupees at each of our projects with this in-house arrangement. We have ensured daily sanitization of our office space and customer experience center by approved disinfectant. This is done by our in-house housekeeping team who has been trained in the process of cleaning of all the contact points, tabletops, knobs, handles and other surfaces. We have provided signages and sanitizers for frequent hand sanitization by our employees, contractor workforce and customers for personal hygiene. Arogya Setu app is downloaded by all our employees and workforce to assess self-health and notify in case of symptoms of COVID-19. As you can see from the pictures, social distancing floor marking is done in offices and at all our sites. 2 meter safe distance is maintained. New signages has been created for creating awareness among employees, customers and workforce about the precautions to be taken and the control procedure that has been implemented at Runwal Group. Quarantine rooms or isolation rooms for new migrant workers who are returning back from hometown for maintaining 14-day isolation has also been implemented at all our projects. Thank you to one and all. This presentation has been created with inputs taken from ICMR, that is the Indian Council of Medical Research, and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and the guidelines and recommendations given by the state of Maharashtra and certain best practices implemented across the organizations. For more information or any queries, please contact me on my below given email address and mobile number. Thank you and Namaste.